but he cannot join the voice just yet. So I have to play in silence, I guess, for a little while, so I can contain myself enough by talking. At the preview, they're just fine. I can read everything fairly well. I like that I have a smaller second monitor, so now I can actually test things like this to make sure that people can read what is on screen. Okay, so let's game. I'm supposed to tell Jacob to hurry up. Shit talk him or anything. Chat over there. Squad is pretty much set for the next season. Don't have a schedule. This is going to become my new tactic because I'm sick and tired of wingers. So, striker. Hey, Dons wants to buy Sambo, and they better make an offer. I am sell him. They have central defenders for next season. Ba, 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 da, da, ba, ba. Staff. Should only somebody else sign staff. Guess he can sign my own stuff. Oh my gosh, yeah, he was way more afford to be the chief scout. gotta send that. So many people just want a ton of. Don't need scouts. What the hell? Searching for scouts. Damn it. Oh, it's one. Cool. Reasonably cheap scout. But oh, you son of a bitch! One time he decides to hit. Oh, that did not go through. God damn it! Now he decides to continue. Right then. Which one was that? Was it this guy? Yes. There we go. Technical director. I think I'm gonna. Oh,
Yeah.
yep. Oh yeah.
I got my phone to 60%. Let's see how long this lasts. Phone to 60%.
Oh,
Let's see how long
can
this
hear
lasts.
background.
I turned mine down.
Just trying to sign a damn technical director, but they all want ridiculous amounts of money.
They all want a lot of money.
Yep, that's right. Technical director. Football. And no. I'm basically just not going to have one. All right. And of course, I was poking through staff, and like the screen wasn't moving. I thought, oh, I got lots of time. But just as I was about to offer a contract, that's when you decided to hit continue. Look, of course you did.
I love to ruin your days, don't I? Always at the wrong time is when I hit continue.
Yeah. My own fault. If I don't like it, I shouldn't have hit continue myself. Shamrock would like to sign McCormick from me. Yeah, okay. I have 60-something%, you say? I don't know if he's looking at the chat or not. Something tells me no.
Me?
Yeah.
What? Oh, hello. I was not looking at the chat.
I didn't think so. You're kind of intent on what you're doing.
Let's do this.
Hmm.
You want to be a fringe player and get $4,000 a week?
Yeah, I know. I've got a bunch of those.
Get out of here.
They're like, I can get that in England. It's like, go to England then.
Yeah.
Night, night.
Have a good night.
Where was the thing that just told me I had some staff contracts expiring?
I'm hitting continue.
Yeah. Sounds good. Head of sports science. Okay. That's my project. Head performance analyst.
I could use some carrots right now.
Want carrots?
Yeah.
I have lots.
I know, but I don't feel like traveling 1,100 miles to get them.
No, I guess I can't really blame you there. That would be a little lengthy, just for carrots.
Yeah.
The heck, I can't get a sports scientist with a 17 even. What? $15 is the best I can do? Okay, I currently have. Sports science has a 12. Okay, so I guess at the very least, 15 is an improvement. That.
You're leaving. You're leaving. You're gonna be gone.
Gonna be gone. 2 performance analysts, 12.
Oh.
10 and 9.
So I think I'm officially done playing my Houston game.
Oh no, what happened?
I was in preseason, right? And doing a normal preseason, games every, 4 days or so. And I had enough players to rotate 2 complete teams, right? So no one's ever playing back-to-back games for more than 75 minutes, right? And so all throughout the preseason, everyone's fine. Everyone's getting sharpness and fitness and whatnot with one game left to go before the preseason ends, and my Champions League campaign begins. I get 4 injuries to 4 first-team players, long-term injuries, and I was like, I did everything I was supposed to do. I rotated. I did tough training in the beginning and lightened it as we went through, and just silly injuries, and guys are out like 5, 6, 7 months. And I'm like, come on, really? It's not like I ran my players to the ground,
Right.
and none of them played like a full 90-minute match. So the game, I come to the conclusion that the game doesn't like me anymore. So I'm just gonna play this save until I can play my African save.
It's still disappointing to hear that it didn't work out for you.
Yeah.
I understand completely. That's enough frustration sometimes to just make a person walk away.
You remember how you told me the drafting was completely pointless in Major League Soccer? And I kind of said, no, you're wrong about that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I apologize. I was wrong with that, and you were absolutely right. So I got a bunch of allocation money. I got international slots. I got everything I needed. And then my injuries came.
Because of course they did.
Yep.
Wow, performance analysts want a lot of money. What is... They want to be paid more than anybody else on my team.
I hope you said no.
Well, so far I've said no, though they're all saying no to me because I'm trying to offer them much, much less money than they actually want.
That's true.
I mean, I think I found a head performance analyst, which is good. That's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me want to use that old joke. They have a performance analyst for that?
That's one I actually haven't heard before.
But, oh, okay. So when I was visiting hospital, my stepdad, it's a long time ago. Sad story. But funny thing is, he had a great sense of humor. So this lady walked in, and she had her name tag on, and it had her name there, and it said head nurse. And I looked at her and I said, "They have a nurse for that?" And I got kicked out of the
hospital. God.
I almost killed my stepdad laughing.
I mean, I think he would have said that's an acceptable way to go.
Mm-hmm. He loved it. Yep, he thought it was one of the funnier things ever. Oh.
That's fucked up.
I'm just trying to cheer him up. I'm trying to cheer him up, right?
I know. That sounds just about you, though, so...
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. So he told that joke. Repeated it a lot ever since then. Anytime he saw anybody with the title head anything, they'd be like, "They have a blank for that?"
Oh
yeah.
God.
It was awesome.
Aye.
Mm-hmm. I'm in a uniquely awesome position. I pretty much have my whole team sorted out, and I still have money.
First time.
I have wage budget and transfer budget.
That's got to be the first time in the save.
I think so. But I don't need anything, so I'm just going to let it sit there. Wait and see what happens, what materializes.
Let's see how much you want. Nah, not right now. I don't know what to improve on. Let's see.
Winning. We're winning.
Shut it.
Right.
Oh, wait. I do need another striker, don't I?
Do you now?
No, I don't.
Don't? I should maybe get rid of Jayon Harrison, but I'm not sure.
So tomorrow is my first day of back at school.
How much longer do you have left?
Our calendar year, so two semesters. I kind of screwed up my last semester.
Okay.
And it screwed me over, so you live and you learn.
Absolutely. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because living is good and dying is not as good.
I'm gonna try and play Friday night as well.
Woo, but tentatively, I understand.
Yeah. Just because I have to leave at 10:30 for my first class, and so I think we can't go like till 3 or 4 in the morning like we sometimes would anymore.
I get it.
Here's a future transfer agreed. Oh, to come here. Okay. But if we play Friday night, we can go a little bit later into the night.
All right.
So yeah, like you said, it's tentative right now.
Sounds good to me, by the way.
Awesome. Bobby Thomas, I want you to come back on loan.
I think I'm going to have an amazing team this season. I'm excited.
Well, yeah, I think your next goal should be to go undefeated.
That was my goal the last 2 seasons.
In the league, at least.
Of course. I mean, I can't imagine going undefeated anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unfathomable. Going to be good, not that good. Apparently, though, I'm playing Borussia Dortmund, OL, and Juventus under 19s still.
In the Youth Cup.
Yeah. And we're actually in third.
Nice. Believe it or not, I found out you can watch those games in the United States, like the UEFA Youth League or whatever it's called.
Neat.
But I haven't watched one yet. I don't think I'll ever will.
Watch the stars of tomorrow, except for not really.
No. Oh, the World Cup is still going on.
Wacky Cup?
Yeah. Semi-final, France and Italy. Brazil versus England.
Oh, those are
Not
the semis?
semi-final. Quarters.
Oh, still, those are big games.
Yeah.
France and Italy, huh? And then Brazil and England.
Yep, Argentina versus Morocco and Germany versus Portugal.
Ooh, those are all good matchups.
Yeah, only they were real-life matchups.
That'd be a really exciting quarterfinal.
Mm-hmm. My left back is...
I kind of want to follow that. See the World Cup again. Here.
World.
Right here.
Back. As I called it around. There's too much money. Wait.
Cup. When is this game? Doesn't have it. Oh, the front. Oh, it's today. Get back to. France is the holders, of course, and they also won it again in two of my offline saves. They
as usual.
They are very strong candidates. So I have 4 offline saves. France wins it in 2 of them. England won it in 1. And Germany won it in the other.
Wow. All really powerful teams.
Yep, I haven't had any like really weird ones lately. The one that I liked was that France won in the final against Senegal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They have a really strong team. I was looking at them. They have more than Sadio Mane on that team. Senegal's actually got a really strong team.
Yeah, a lot of African nations do. Just people don't realize it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. I didn't realize just quite how good they were. I looked over their roster. I'm like, they don't look completely out of place in a World Cup final. I mean, don't get me wrong. A couple of their players had insane tournaments. Like, they had to play really, really well to get there. But they look like a team that belonged there.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
It's like, man, I had no idea how good Senegal actually was.
400 makes me a little bit more optimistic about the African save now.
I mean, retaining Wales should be a problem, but
yeah, but getting the money though. Fine, I'll give you a 3-year deal.
you have no technical director. Shut up. I can't even afford these idiots you're showing me. Okay, you know what? Let's see if either of these dum-dums will sign. Try this guy. No. Let's try this guy. Again, like, why are they recommending people to me who have no intention of signing with my team?
Can you filter it to only people who are interested?
Well, I mean, it says they're interested, but I can't afford them. So really, are they interested? Because technical directors typically want around $4,000 a week.
Which is crazy.
I'm only allowed to pay them 1.3. I mean, I could get some of the lower skill guys, but do I really even just want to sign one for the sake of signing one?
No. That's never been your philosophy.
Which is why, yeah, even now. This guy agreed to 1.3 thousand a week, and I'm just like, I have to cancel that, actually. Transfer, zoom, technical, cancel. I don't want that guy. Paying him all that money just to come and sign under 19 staff members for me. Who's currently doing that? My director of football. And see, he's got a fine negotiation. He's just as good as the guy that I almost paid a bunch of money to. Right,
then leave it to him.
I'm gonna. I'm actually going to compare him to my director of football.
So, in Out of the Park last week, I just missed out on the playoffs. And this week, I started off extremely hot. I'll tell you in a second. Did I not put it in right? Let's see.
My director of football is just fine at that job.
There you go. Oh no, I lost. I am 18-6 right now.
Sound.
18-6?
Oh, not very good.
Not very good. Okay, I'll do better tomorrow.
I hope you do. That's only 600.
750, but go ahead.
Wait, 18-6, 6, 12, 8. Yeah, 750.
Yep, you can math. Good job.
Only took me a minute.
And the wrong answer.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking 12-6. I don't know why.
Oh, 12-6, I wouldn't be happy about. I wouldn't be bragging about that.
I just, I hear what I want. Are you in silver?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I am currently.
Let's find out.
I haven't logged in days. Damn. It's not good.
You are in silver.
Logging in real. Find out. I upgraded my team. I'm 12-13.
It's not bad.
Middle
That's
of the
under
pack.
500.
At least I'm not 1-23 like the team in last in my division. Oof.
Oh. Looks like they're going back down.
Yeah. Middle of the pack. I'm fine with that. Too worried about much. I honestly don't know what to do to improve enough to go up another level, though. Like, I've got all 99s and 100s now.
You got to start looking at players who contribute, who are better at contributing than the players you have. So, basically, what I've been doing is I've been looking at the top teams in my division, or in my league, rather, and seeing the players that have the best stats and seeing who they are. And then I'd look at their stats from like multiple years. Like if you go to their player profile, you can check their stats from like all the years. And as long as like they had good stats in the level above us, which would be gold, I would look at trying to buy them. So I'm always like, because when with 99s and 100s and such, obviously some are going to be better than the others. And I can't make that judgment by myself yet. So I look to see what other people have done. And so
I doubt I'll invest that much time in it.
I want to get to at least, I want to be respectable in the gold league before the new one comes out.
I made a goal to get to silver and stay there.
Okay, well, you're doing it.
I want to get to silver and not get demoted. So, I mean, I got to silver and demoted. I'm like, hey, not good enough. I need to make my team strong enough so that they stay consistently in silver. That's my goal. Accomplished it.
Good.
So, when I do log in, and there's going to be a while again, obviously, before the next Out of the Park, so.
It's coming out in 3 months. And, like, just before the MLB season would come out.
Oh, is the next Out of the Park in 3 months? Okay.
Yeah. They come out in, like, March or April.
That's so fast. I feel like I just got this one.
Yeah, well, I haven't played much of it either, to be honest.
That's a hell of a crazy thing, let me tell you.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yep, crazy because you keep it. I love this. They keep bringing it up. We currently have no technical director. Then they give me a list of guys to fill the role, and I'm just like, they all want more money than I'm willing to pay them, and their attributes suck. A director of football is currently better at them at being a technical director. Like, what? No, I don't want to pay these guys money to do something that my director of football is doing for free, basically.
Italy wins the World Cup.
Italy, wow! So they beat France in that quarterfinal, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And then they beat England in the semifinal.
Who'd they beat in the final? Brazil.
Portugal.
Portugal.
Yes. So, let's see. Argentina beat Germany on penalties. Italy beat France, and England beat Brazil. So it was an all-European semifinal. No, it wasn't. I lied.
England got third. Oh, wow. Italy, huh? So it's funny because it's so typical of Italy. They're either not even making the tournament at all, or they're winning it.
There's no in between.
Not much. We all know how they're in. They're great. What is it about them that makes them struggle just to get in? I'll never understand that. Oh, Mbappe signed for City on our save. I'm like, why is City in first? I see now. Mbappe signed for them. Yeah, that'll do it.
Sorry, Liverpool. You'll always be second fiddle to City.
They will now. They won it this past season, you know. But yeah, right. They signed Lewandowski, right? Like, what? That's not an answer. He's old. he's too old. Can't expect him to keep scoring goals. He's too old. He's also still very. I wouldn't sign him. Nope.
Neither would I.
I have Melvin Lambert. I don't need him. Lewandowski in the Irish League. Could you imagine? Oh yeah. All right. So I'm going to continue to have my pipe dreams about stuff like that over here. I win. No, that's not a player who would ever sign where I am. I was really disappointed to find out that the dynamic youth ratings don't work the way we thought they did.
So I was going to talk to you about that, but I was afraid to bring it up.
Oh, really? Oh, you saw the video too?
Yeah, you watched the video?
Of course I watched the video.
Wow.
Why?
Because you always tell me you're not a fan of him.
Don't need to be a fan of somebody to watch their revealing information that they put out. I'm not sure how much of it is accurate because I've had a background conversation with another person involving it. But yeah, well, it's one of those instances where the biggest streamer says it's so it must be so.
So it sounds like you're kind of on the fence.
Only a little bit. Because, and the thing he likes to gloss over, but most people point out, is that the response, the final response he was given, is that it does in fact work the way that it was stated on that one particular date. So on that one particular date, it breaks down how it works. So it's not going to affect us because we're playing on the Irish Premier Division. And I understand two of the points he made that are totally true and accurate. That really you can be annoyed about. Anyway, we play in a fully developed nation with a high importance on their football community. So our country will develop youth rating dynamically. If you are in a place that isn't developed or doesn't place high enough importance on their footballing community, they won't develop. But then he pointed out, and rightfully so, that Brazil itself is a developing nation. But they've got one of the highest youth ratings. So, like the argument can be made that that's a good thing to limit. Good point. I agree with those points. Having said that, it's the limitations only really apply to nations that aren't fully developed or don't place high enough importance on their footballing structure. Ireland does not suffer from either of those things, so we're going to be fine.
It sounds like someone needs to edit the database to make all those things level, to have like a truly randomization of it.
Sadly, that's not a database issue.
Well, you can change it. You can change the game importance and stuff like that.
Oh, you could, yeah. I guess you could make all the countries developed, but they're not.
Develop. Yeah, put them all developed and have a high game importance. So you can have, a country in real life that's a third world country actually produce, a lot of Wonder Kids and whatnot, and consistently be in the top 5, top 10 in the world in terms of world ranking.
Okay, so you have access to the editor and or whatchamacallit doohickey pregame editor.
Yeah, do you want me to open it up?
Did we look and see what Ireland's youth rating is before we began?
No, we did not.
We should have.
All right. Give me a second to pull it up.
Of course. This is all for good educational.
It's all in the name of science.
And it's science!
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, you don't even look that good. But your physicals are good.
Not a player. He's scouting for players first, folks. This other thing is just not as important.
It takes a minute to boot up.
I'm doing this thing even.
Okay.
It's there.
So, nations.
I think that changes this. It does not.
Alright, so what am I looking up?
Youth rating of Ireland. Republic of Ireland.
I know the difference between the two.
Sorry, it doesn't just say okay. Ireland. It's the Republic of Ireland. I didn't say Northern Ireland. I know you know the difference between Northern Ireland and. But if you're looking through I, you probably won't find it. It'll be under R.
Ireland youth rating 83.
And our current Ireland youth rating is 83.
Oh.
So it hasn't moved yet. Say it won't. I'm saying as of now, it still hasn't moved yet.
Do you think it'll move?
It's supposed to. It's supposed to be a dynamic youth rating. But how much has our nation or division moved up is the other thing. Have we? So let's do that now. Can you look up the Irish Premier Division? What is their reputation at the beginning? Looking these things up under the hood, but we're going to do it just because it has to be known.
Irish Premier
Division. To know their reputation.
Let's see, nation. Their reputation is 74.
Okay, so it's currently 90.
Well, league reputation changes, and we know that.
Okay, so you still have the Republic of Ireland tab open?
I can pull it back up. What's up? What do you want me to look at?
The reputation of the Republic of Ireland. The reputation number.
Reputation is 5,800 out of 10,000.
Okay, so the reputation of the Republic of Ireland in our game right now is 5610. It's actually gone down.
I wonder if that's because the Ireland didn't make the World Cup in our game.
So that's possible. But so our division doesn't pull it up because our division went up.
Yeah, our division went up because you did well in the League.
I would think.
And
all of our teams did well in the Champions League.
And Shamrock.
Coming in. Sorry, all three of the teams that made the Euros did well for our division.
So that would bring up the league reputation.
I'm imagining that's what did it, yeah.
And then the nation reputation. Let me look at Ireland's schedule.
So our nation went down, our division went up. So I'm not sure how much we can actually influence our youth rating.
Ireland got relegated in the Nations League, so that would bring it down. Ireland missed out on the World Cup,
All right,
so that would bring it down as well.
So there's a pretty strong chance one of us is going to have to take over the national team.
It's possible.
I think that's going to be the only way that we really, truly accomplish what it is we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, you might be right.
So let's look at their manager history. They've had the same manager 2 years and 260, almost 3 years, the same manager. So they've been relegated. Right here it says relegated from European International League.
Mm-hmm.
But they've hung on to the manager in spite of that.
Of course, when it happens to us, we get fired immediately.
Let's see. There's no way to declare interest in this job, is there?
Not unless it's open.
Sometimes if their job is not secure. Hold on. I'm going to go to staff. Job security. That's what I want to look at. Find the Republic of Ireland. So let's see. Very insecure. No, he's not there. Wales is there. Oh, wait. That's your team. Okay, I just need nations, please. Oh. So there's a lot of nations with no managers. Brazil, Mexico, Spain, Italy has no manager currently. They just won. France has no manager currently.
Usually happens right after the World Cup ends.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that the Ireland manager did not get fired. I'm going to filter. I'm just going to get rid of clubs and reserve teams, so I'm only looking at nations. Let's see, where's the Republic of Ireland? There it is, right here. Stable. He is stable in his position in spite of being... I don't agree with that. That's some bullshit right there, I think.
So, I can agree with that.
So okay, I need to go to here. I need to go to my social feed, manage. Let's see. I need notifications when he gets his ass fired. Ireland. Edit. Is job vacancies already on here? Okay. You're telling me managers might have decided it was safer to go on an extended vacation. Well, they just won the World Cup in our game. So it's really surprising. They probably just, like you said, went on an extended vacation. Manager departments, manager appointments, manager speculations. I'm already subscribed to all those as far as Ireland goes. World Cup doesn't seem to have manager settings. So technically speaking, I should be notified if the Irish manager loses his job, though that's not necessarily the case.
He didn't lose his job yet.
No, but if he did, I should be... Oh. I know he didn't.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm going to subscribe to the manager. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm almost assuredly going to lose his job. So Stephen Kenny...
You going to celebrate afterwards?
Well, because I'm going to take his damn job, but there's no way they won't give it to me. I mean, they probably just to be a bunch of buggers. You're not high enough. The French managers are probably rioting because French Parliament increased fuel prices by 3 cents. Oh, God damn. Are you trying to tell me that the French get uppity about things? Oh, Jesus, that's good stuff. Okay, I'm now following Stephen Kenny. Why does he have to have the last name Kenny? God, the premier of my province.
What does Kennedy, the name have significance for you?
I just said the premier of my province, the super conservative asshole that runs my province name is Jason Kenny. So his last name.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They might be related.
I hope not. Yeah, the Muppet running my province is not the... He's basically just a mini Trump.
Jason Kenny?
Yeah, he's a mini Trump.
A mini Trump? Interesting.
Yeah, he wants to be Donald Trump in the worst possible way, but he's not smart enough. That's saying something, considering how dumb Donald Trump is.
There you go. Wikipedia.
I'm pretty sure our premier was hatched out of an egg. Yes, Wayne, I agree. I think that's probably grown in a test tube inside of a lab at the very least.
He is bilingual. He has never been married and therefore has no children.
Who are you talking about?
Kenny.
Jason Kenny?
Yeah.
He's bilingual?
I want to see if he was... that's what it says on Wikipedia.
I do not believe that for 1 second.
Why not? Because you've never heard him speak French?
Unless his second language is asshole, I seriously doubt he speaks French.
Oh, you'd know if he spoke asshole. It's the same thing your second language is.
Well, no, but he does speak asshole. That's what I'm saying. Unless his second language is asshole, which I have heard him speak, I doubt he speaks French. He's very xenophobic and intolerant of anybody who isn't an English-speaking white Canadian.
Oh, I should go meet him then.
Sorry, a straight English-speaking white Canadian.
I should definitely go meet him then.
Yeah, I think you'd have a lot of fun talking to him.
Fuck up all of his stereotypes.
Yeah, right? Probably blow his racist little head off his shoulders. That's fine, though. I'd enjoy every second of that. He's the kind of person who deserves it. No,
the only thing I need
not
to
a
do,
nice person.
The only thing I need to do is learn how to shoot a gun. That's it.
Huh?
I think I'll have all my bases covered after that.
Right. Yeah, no, and Wayne's right, because he lives in the same province. Imagine Donald Trump, but somehow even more completely incompetent.
No, I don't believe that.
That's Jason Kenny. It's true. Even his own people hate him.
Oh, that's usually the conservative way of life.
He has the lowest approval rating of any premier in the history of Canada.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah. I know. Even the people that he works for, like all of the conservatives on his party, they all hate him too. They thought he was great when they voted him in, of course. I mean, if you're wondering, like, why the hell is he in charge still? It's because they can't oust him yet. He's not even from Alberta. That's the other thing that really got to me is they voted him in, and I'm like, he's just gonna rob everything from Alberta that he can, and then go back to Ontario and be like, job well done.
Oh, no, I'm thinking Quebec. Never mind.
Quebec? Yeah. Oh, Quebec?
I was about to say, isn't that where the French are? But that's Quebec.
The French aren't in Alberta.
Huh?
The French aren't in Alberta.
Oh, I know that. But you said Ontario.
Oh.
Which is next to Quebec.
Ontario is actually quite bilingual, for the most part.
Oh, then it's plausible that he could be bilingual.
I guess. It's... I would challenge that notion. If he's put himself as bilingual, I want somebody to speak French at Hinge, because I have my notes.
Okay.
Yeah, the eastern part of the province where Ottawa sits. It's like pretty much bilingual. Ottawa is in Ontario. It's our capital, and it is very bilingual.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's right near the border with Quebec, which, of course it makes sense. I've been there. I've even visited there. I was surprised at how bilingual Ottawa is. I thought, it's like, how is this just not part of Quebec? Why don't they just fix the border just a little bit and just take it? But I'm kind of glad because then our capital would be in Quebec, and they're a bunch of separatists, or at least lots of them are. Oh, there's a Métis settlement that's the French in Alberta. Oh, okay, yeah, I vaguely heard. I love that you took a poke at the actual French, though. That was pretty comical. It's a shame Joanne's in bed. She would have enjoyed that one. Like, really, the French get uppity about things? She'd laugh because they do. They raised the price of gas 3 cents. Let's go burn down our Parliament building. That sounds like them. They don't tolerate shit. That's what it is. They don't like something. They don't put up with it. They do something about it.
I think I should buy myself a Scout.
You don't have any?
I have one.
That's I just raised my scouting budget and hired more scouts. Oh wait, last scout did it. I could still hire one more scout. My scouting range on World. That's right. We're starting to act like a Champions League team.
Well, I will win the league next year, and then the following season get in the Champions League.
Station 0. Why can't I? I can't even in. Can't sign this guy. Let's see, I'm gonna for you 0. Take 0 for him. 160,000 for a guy that's about to be a free agent. Is he about to be a free agent? Oh no, not for a couple of seasons. Why are you showing him to me? Did I get the snow squall in Edmonton? We sure did.
Excuse me.
Excuse for you.
Okay.
So we got the snow squall. Did we get it? I thought that we created it. Doesn't all bad weather begin?
How far is Wayne from Edmonton?
A couple hours.
Calgary?
No, Calgary's 4 hours away.
Oh,
well,
listen, you said
3,
a couple of hours.
A couple hours is closer to Red Deer.
Also, a place I've never heard of.
Oh, I lived there for a lot of years.
So I'm supposed to know that?
Just mentioning it. Red Deer's in between Calgary and Edmonton.
Okay.
It's literally a straight line north to south. There's Highway 2. On the top is Edmonton. On the bottom is Calgary. And right in the middle is Red Deer.
As a gay man, I will find a curvy way to get there. I'm not going the straight direction.
Okay.
I will. I'll go southwest, and then I'll go southeast.
You just can't do anything straight. Is this what you're telling me?
No, exactly.
So Wade's just outside of Red Deer in a tiny little hamlet. He calls it a town, but it's not even a town.
It's a okay.
He actually lives in a hamlet if he was to look it up. Yes, there is a difference, a distinct difference.
Has he answered let's see if my friend answered me
I'm
yet.
just being a jerk about
Uh-oh. So I told my friend, can you give me a sentence or two on Jason Kenney? This is for science.
Okay.
And he goes, I'm waiting for his answer anxiously.
Yes, taxes in hamlets are cheap. I know. That's one of their main benefits. Let's see. Transfer listed. 70K. I mean, that's not bad. I feel like I could sign Charlie Brown. Should I sign Charlie Brown? I'm going to sign Charlie Brown. I mean, his name is Charlie Brown. I don't know how to resist that. I'm going to nickname him Chuck. Pull the ball away from him. Painful agenda. Hi, how you doing? And when he goes to kick the ball, we're going to pull it out from in front of him and laugh maniacally. Okay, but all joking aside, he's a really good striker. Looks like a very player here. Short, but, I'll forgive him for that one because his price is... Start negotiations. Fringe player. Starting as a squad player.
Is there a limit to how many loans we can have in a season?
I don't think so.
Let's see.
It's one of my favorite things is that we just don't seem to have a whole lot of limitations on that kind of thing. On much of anything, really.
Loan rules. Maximum of 8 foreign-based players over the age of 22 allowed on loan at a time.
What?
Maximum of 8 players over the age of 22 allowed out on loan to a foreign club at a time.
Okay.
So 8 foreigners allowed, and you can only loan at most 8 players to one specific club.
Oh, well, I mean that's good. That seems like it's reasonable, right? Like that's a lot of loan players. I don't think you're going to hit that many.
No.
Not anytime soon. Let me see what this painful agenda says. I started a season with Southend. Okay, yeah, I'm already aware of the challenge of Southend. No transfer budget. The board wants you to work within the budget, but you're already overspending and have no cash. No one wants any players, even for free. Team not good enough to get playoffs like the board want. This is going to be fun. Well, that means you're just going to have to tactically pull them into the playoffs or beyond. I mean, yeah, it's going to have to be really good at the game.
I'd look for loans.
Right. Free loans is usually the answer to improving your team scenario. Teams don't want players even for free at the start. However, if you play those players that you don't want in cup games at the very least, if they perform, somebody will. Yeah, no, the first couple of seasons with Southend, it's not easy. Definitely. Okay, so we've completed the signings. That's so exciting.
Hoban, Irish Player of the Year. Let's go.
Of course he was.
40 goals in 40 games.
But the guy just scores for fun. Like, he feels like it, he scores.
And he's finally signed to my club.
Joel Began got. We have a rookie of the year. His best rookie. What do you? Joel Began, contracted to Cardiff. Who was he on loan to? Oh, okay. So he plays in England, but he got best rookie for Ireland. Huh? Gavin Bazunu for Manchester City was third. Just played for the Man City under 23s. Wow, the bar is low. But the only reason this came up is because Deji Sotana got second for my team. Hooray. Hooray. You. That's exactly right. That's the whole thing. Is just trying to make it through the first couple of seasons with that team. It's going to be a challenge. It's simple and straightforward as one might hope. Get my expiring contracts for the upcoming season. A whole lot of Irish players, I've just noticed. Excuse me. I don't know if I want to keep any of them.
Then don't.
I know we don't have to, but it feels like I'm betraying them.
Well, you can wait a couple seasons until you get better Irish players from your youth system.
Absolutely. So far, so good there. I've got it juiced up quite a bit. Speaking of, what's my finances at now? Still got some money. Let's see if I'll increase it again. Just boy. I don't know. Just want to see, and that's care to keep you, may not keep you.
Salah claims FIFA Best Player of the Year. Oh, did you hear about the referee in the African Cup of Nations that stopped the game in the 85th minute?
I did, and in halftime, he stopped it at the 89th minute. Before the half.
That is crazy.
Messed up really bad. And I mean, they're trying to penalize the team that didn't come back, but most of their players were already in their ice baths.
Yes, of course they're not going to come back.
So, new to FM22. Well, welcome to the game. I've been a tester and researcher for this game for like 17 years now. Crap time. This is 2022. Yep, 17 years. You played the Xbox version, so played FM Touch. Trying the PC version, which makes the Xbox version look like shit. Well, yeah, this is what you consider the full version. The Xbox version is what Football Manager Touch. It's very, very different. That's what it's called, is FM Touch. But yeah, right. It's nothing like this one. There's a lot more fluff to this one, though. Having to deal with players and press conferences and shit that I don't like. I actually did like the Touch version because the match engine is the same. Tactics are basically the same. You can't make your players do things with team talks the same way.
You and I played Touch once. It was, 2 years ago?
Yeah. Redline game was because it's faster. It's not the same as the full version, though. It's really not. The full version is better. I concede to that. All right, so I have lost Parzamain. I really wanted to keep him, but wait, I can get him back now that he's gone? Oh, right, it was him who rejected the loan. I'm going to attempt to bring him back.
Oh, now you want 80%. Nope, no thank you.
Oh, kill me. Sign for me. Contract offers. Touch don't have full staff. Xbox have water contract offers. That's right. That's right. So in that regard, there's more to deal with. Just some extra layers, but they're not necessarily adding adding a lot. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's more players to deal with, more staff to deal with. Team. I'm not making any guarantees on these. I will, however, make you a star player. Not sign unless I'm going to do those other things. I almost got to bring Antonio Leal back on a permanent basis. He was willing to talk to me, hopefully. Is his contract actually in? Yeah, right away. 6 months. So I need to put him on my short list. Oh, he's already on my short list. I need to try to sign him again to see what kind of promises may appease him. Squad there. Big pay raise. Get out of here.
Don Mattingly.
You can do an instant results on the full version too. You just have to get the skin. I have an instant results skin, so I don't have to do preseason games. Oh, has to get a big fat pay raise. All right. What? I gave you exactly what you wanted, and you're saying, oh, I hate that. I offer them exactly what they want, and he's like, no, I'm out of here. Things like that don't happen in touch. That's just ridiculous. So 2 new players arrive.
So Southend, your favorite team, or is this the team you wanted to pick to play as? No, we need this goalkeeper.
City trying to Florian Stritzel.
Get him off your damn short list.
Didn't want him at one point. You were trying to get rid of him.
I know, but he's on my team now.
Lives in Southend. Didn't want to pick a team with major budget and squad. Wanted to start with a challenge. Well, you've checked all the boxes. Look at that. Local. Wanted a challenge. Didn't want a team with a big budget or major squad. So, yeah, you've got exactly what you needed. I guess the team picked itself for you. Lucky. I don't always get so much good luck with that. I can't play my local team because they play in a league I don't give 2 shits about.
Although it would be interesting for you to play as them and then try and make your way to England.
What?
It would be interesting to play as.
No, I'm talking about my local team, FC Edmonton.
I know. Play in the Canadian Premier League, make your way to MLS, and then make your way to Europe.
You can't.
Why can't you?
How do you get into Europe?
From MLS, it's not that hard, actually.
What? Oh, like as a manager, you mean?
Yes, you net. What are you thinking about?
I thought you were trying to get the team to Europe. It's like, yeah, we're just going to move FC Edmonton over to.
No, don't. Wait a second. Hold on.
A woo? Okay. Figure out who my captain's going to be this season. I'm really tempted to go as because he's going to play all the time. Boyhain will not. But it's good to pick an alternate. The food. So, sign a new. So Montez and Boyhain. I am done. It's actually much easier than I thought it was going to be. You hate it when all your best captains end up being that are.
Excuse me.
How come I have the same players as Xbox but are winning more matches? Well, there's a whole bunch of different reasons why that could be happening, such as you're using team talks effectively, or your tactic is not the same. Are you using the exact same tactic? Like, exactly. Start with that question before. So Shane Griffin has signed. What's my weight? Dobson, right? Same formation, but have a few extra options on PC. Tactically, should be exactly the same. Tactics exactly the same.
Oh, that's what I wanted to look up. How much money I have available.
Yeah, you do.
I have $7,000 in the bank per week.
That's not where I was trying to move. Really? That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm also waiting. Apple Home. Has he not signed yet? Sign for me! Okay, so Forrester's coming. Question mark. In-game talks. That's what I was going to say. It's not changing tactics so much as like in the game you can talk to your players and that affects how they're performing the actions you want them to differently. Yeah. So like in-game stuff is different. Like creating a tactic is exactly the same. The stuff right here is all the same. But yeah, you can affect what your players do to a much greater ability on this one. So if you're doing that stuff right, then you're absolutely going to win more games on this than you would. Because the other one is just more random because you can't affect it. Thorson complete St. Pat's Moon. Great. Now I have more scouts. I need to actually assign them, though. That gigantic scouting. Holy crap, look at all the extra players they're recommending to me. I'm starting to feel that. That extra scouting budget is paying off. Money. I mean, I had nothing else to spend my. It's amazing to have this problem. I had nothing else to spend my transfer budget on, so I'm just like, let's just crank it into scouting.
It's not that bad of an idea, to be honest.
Well, no, because then I can find more free transfers and save even. Okay, so current assignments. Let's look here. I've got 1, 2, 3 scouts with no current assignment.
Who's this guy out of contract? Ah, no. A 19-year-old fullback out of contract.
Stop looking. It's midfield. Oh, here. Stop. Now I have 4 guys with nothing. 19's championship. Stop that. I don't like that they show me performance analysts on my scouting screen because I can't actually tell them to scout certain things. Nuts! Potential lowers. Continue what you're doing.
Me? No.
My scout. Yeah, you. Continue what you're doing. Potential signings. End a contract. That's good. That's what I want. Hot prospects. Gain Ireland. Let's just go for the whole scouting range now.
You're like a kid on Christmas who just got a new toy and just wants to show the world.
I have a scouting range and new scouts. That's kind of how I feel, actually. I don't bother with weekly teams at all, actually. I just tell them to give me a summary. It really depends on how in-depth you really want to be with it, because The weekly team meetings don't have a ton of benefit.
I personally do them every 2 weeks because for me, every week is just too tedious.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. It's different for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Scout. Hot prospects need to have my best scout.
You know what?
That's right, and that's exactly how I feel about those meetings. I look at the very top. Tell me what's going to be meeting, and unless it has something that really catches my attention, I just don't bother. Contracts entire range.
All right.
Sure, I focus on is end of contract players. This one a specific attribute though. Changing my next opposition constantly. Assignment. Petition. To improve jumping and heading. It's the best training for these. Yeah. That is going to be complicated to explain, but I mean, you came to the right person. So, when you go into your training here, it'll tell you right here exactly what they're going to improve. Now, the sad thing I'm going to have to break to you is that jumping and heading are two of the attributes that you cannot directly through training. And I know that's going to make you sad to hear. But if you want to know how to train something, it's all listed. It sucks to have to go through these one at a time, but everything you want to improve is already listed. It'll tell you exactly what. And yeah, the argument being made on jumping and heading is that that's not something that they necessarily can train. So, if you want jumping only, you can go to general and physical, and jumping reaches on there. Okay, so if you general physical, jumping reaches one of them. Heading, it just happens with time. Put them in situations where they use heading. Defending attributes heading is here under general. But again, that just happens more with time, and this one's only going to affect it by 20%. So there's not many places where you're going to be able to directly influence jumping in. A lot of it just happens naturally with the player being put in situations like where you put him in the box during corners. But here, physical has jumping. Defending on general has some heading, but it's only 20% as you can see, so it's not a lot. And I think that might be just a sec. Oh, heading's under attacking under general as well. Yeah, they're all in training. Not terrible. At least they put some of them back in here there last season. So this is better that there is a few of them. So you want physical, defending, attacking under general. Those are the ones that will jumping and heading. I do. Yeah, I get players with good jumping and heading from the start. Yep. But I mean, if they're young, they need to develop it. Let's be honest. If you get them from the start, it's better. I mean, this is why I get excited when I get to continuously load in Billy Cometio, Liverpool, because he's already got 16 jumping and 14 heading, and is 6'6", and scores. He scores a lot of goals for me. But I've also got my youth players that need to develop it. Absolutely. I currently don't have one on this game. I guess I'll use.
He also will not sign someone who's under 6 foot tall.
Typically not. Yeah, I go for the tall players with good jumping and heading. is what I go for. Those are my, that's my jam. This is one of my youth players. He's 16 years old. He's 6'4". He's already got 15 jumping and 15 heading. So I was like, yes, that's why he's sitting on my first team and not my youth team, because I'm going to play the shit out of this guy. He's also got good potential according to my stats. Nobody else really made. But yeah, no, all joking aside, I try to go for players who already have it.
Oh, wait a second.
Don't mind short wingers and central midfielders. I understand. And, Jacob said the same thing. What about wingers? And I'm like, I just prefer not to use wingers. Even central midfielders, I do prefer them to be tall if possible, but obviously creativity is more important than height. But my defensive midfielder has to absolutely be another tall person. So I guess this guy's 5'7". I don't know if I followed my own rule on this save. 6'1". This is going to be my starting defensive midfielder. He's 6'1". He's got 12 heading and 15 jumping. But my backup is 5'7". Because he was cheap, okay? Sometimes being cheap when you're in a low division and don't have a lot of money, you understand. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're playing a South End. Sometimes you have to just take what you can get. I'm tempted to keep Sam Bowden backup defensive midfielder just because he actually jump in. Tough decisions. But yeah, tactically, custom formation, 2 wing backs, 2 center backs. So, okay, how's that working for you? Backs, 2 central defenders, 2 defensive midfielders, 2 central midfielders, 1 attacking midfielder, and 1 striker. So no wingers for you either. Working great. Good. It's working great. It's awesome. Okay, you say using a custom tactic. Well, every tactic is custom, aren't they?
Your reputation is about to go up now that we're going to the next season.
Okay. I guess I better be. When does it actually officially happen? Right now.
Right now, when there's the game update.
Okay, so here's my recruitment meeting for the new. It's for Windows. Who do they think? Oh, look at all these improvements they think I can make. Well, thanks, guys. Just send me the lists. And here's my weekly staff meeting. Player contract renewals. Playing time changes. Ask for a summary. 25.65K for Premier Division TV rights. Man, that's such a small amount of money. Are Dundalk.
What about me?
What about you? Just looking at reputations.
Oh.
I want to see if that's going. Nope. Still got a way bigger reputation than I do.
Well, you've only been in the Champions League once, so hold your horses.
Qualified, but I'll try to hold the horses for a little while
longer. Alright, so you are not going to play on this team. Neither are you. And neither are you. Okay.
A whole lot of people just got cut.
Yeah, they were on trial.
Oh. Make it. Sorry to hear.
No, they got there and I said turn around. So you're useless to me. Except one guy.
You learn not to put release clauses in contracts? What are you talking about? I love release clauses in contracts. As long as they're huge. because then people just tend to bugger off, and you can say no to all of their advances, and the player really can't argue because he has a release clause.
Don't manage it in Spain if you don't like release clauses.
I mean, I'm the kind of person where I'll pay them a little bit more weekly wage just to give them a massive release clause, and then I just don't got to think about it again. The way I think about it is this. Now, let me try to break it down for you. If you know this player is going to get a lot better, in 2 to 3 seasons, he's going to be asking for a wage raise anyway. And the reason he's going to ask for a wage raise is because other teams are going to express interest in him. So my way of thinking is that if I give him a little bit more wage now, he'll accept a massive release clause, and then teams won't go sniffing around at him, and he's less likely to ask for a wage raise later. It just pays off in the long run. But it really depends, because some players just get so good that teams go after them regardless. But yeah, it's neither here nor there with that one. If I can give them a gigantic release clause so that nobody goes after them, I do that. Joined the team. I need to put him somewhere. Back. Yeah, but I mean, I've played at that same level, and giving a tiny bit more age to guys accepted larger release clauses. But you're right. In lieu of trying to overpay people when you don't have the budget, it's better to just not give. Yeah, it's more for a higher division purpose than a low division one. I'll give you an example. I like to play because I've done research for them for many, many years. When I play Accrington Stanley, they don't have a ton of money. But one of the players they have that I never want to lose is Ross Sykes. So I'll often sign him to a contract, long-term contract, and I'll give him way more wages than he's even asking for. So he'll sign for longer and with a huge release clause, so he never goes anywhere. But there's, it's not something I'm willing to do for a lot of players because.
Have you ever managed in Spain before?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, no, I have. I did a Barcelona rebuild a while back. It's been a while. I don't
Not
mind release
recently?
clause. No, not recently. No.
Someone I knew did a Barcelona a Spanish save. Can't remember who it was though.
Back, I did a Barcelona. They were starting to go shit even. They were still winning, but their players were getting.
You're playing a reserve team in the Leinster Senior Cup. Yeah, you play a reserve team.
Oh, whose reserve team is it? University College Dublin. Ah, look at that. How come I don't get a reserve team?
I said you're. Oh, you don't. You're right. You don't get a reserve team.
I would like a reserve team. Okay.
We don't get that kind of privilege over here.
Let's see what it's nothing. Good players from the start. Starting. Oh, well, I guess you know who you're going to try to hold on to then. Play a lot. That's good. Parsimane is back. I couldn't hold on to him. Came back on loan. Striker came back the very next day. Came back. Okay, so I've got him back. Now what am I going to do? This guy's got to be sold. You now transfer listed. Don't come back. It's funny, I chose to get rid of playing wingers the same season that I managed to sign Shatana permanently. So I'm going to have to change the striker.
You're not pick the top formation?
No, I'm not using 3 strikers, just 2. Doing a diamond, remember? 4-4-2 diamond?
Oh, it's going to be interesting when we play each other then. Well, I guess if I had my Houston team, because we use a 4-4-2 diamond as well.
Using a 4-4-2 diamond?
In my Houston save, I was.
Let's see, okay, sorry.
Oh, I didn't tell you. Now that MLS will be starting back in a little over a month and a half, I'll be working with VAR again this year.
VAR! So you're the one people get to yell at.
Well, not my job specifically, but sure. If you want to yell at me, go right ahead.
So when a VAR call goes terribly wrong, this is the man you blame. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
But essentially, all I have to do is make sure one of the monitors doesn't go down at any point during the game.
I got to answer this question. What happens if I don't have a full squad for the under-21s? Nothing. Nothing happens. They play gray players. Try to use your first team players who don't have fitness and aren't playing for you. Make them available for that. But you can also just click in the staff responsibilities for that to happen automatically. That'll be right here. Staff responsibilities go all the way down to match. And you should be able to automatically make unfit players available. Let's click that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Jacob. Let's continue.
So yeah, I just have to make sure the monitor that the referees use for the review doesn't go black at any moment during the game.
Okay.
And I will be able to listen into the referees' conversations between each other and the VAR room.
Wow. That sounds fun. So all you got to do is make sure that the screen doesn't go black.
Yes. And I get to listen to the referees.
What happens if it does go black?
I radio a technician and they fix it.
Oh, thank God. Because I was hoping it wasn't one of those scenarios where once it goes black, it doesn't go back.
Oh, my God. I'm going to stop playing that early tonight because of that.
Still, though, that's a pretty fun job. You get teams.
Yeah, so originally it was only going to be the Red Bulls and NYCFC.
Right. But now
I told my
they've added another team.
Well, no. I told my supervisor that I can do games in Philadelphia as well, since it's the same distance for me. Yeah. And he was like, that's awesome. And then he came back to me and he was like, well, are you willing to do a game in Philadelphia on a Saturday and a game in New York on a Sunday?
Oh, okay.
And I said, yeah, that's not a big deal because they don't know my boyfriend lives in Jersey City,
right.
Which is right outside New York.
Which is just perfect.
So, exactly. So,
damn.
Hopefully I'll be doing games every weekend now for the MLS season.
Apparently, my director made an ad. The technical director, they put out an ad. I've had an excellent response to this ad. Can't even afford any of these guys. Let's see. You want to sign for me? It's not that much of a difference. Maybe. I can't afford to pay you that. No, you don't understand. I can't afford to pay you that. And so you say no. Why do you even bother replying?
Transfer status.
Sorry. Didn't mean to. Just getting all disappointed with it. Silly. All right, so I got Barsabane here. I also loaned this guy. Why did I loan this guy?
So you remember how, like, last week I kept complaining that I had a big squad?
Yes, I do remember distinctly.
I no longer have a big squad.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I have, 26 players, 25 players?
I have a gigantic squad now. I'm going to have to figure out what some of these players.
Not surprised in the slightest.
Well, no, because I'm trying to transition towards higher quality players, and that involves waiting for the lower quality players to trickle out.
Mm-hmm.
So stuck in that transitional phase. Coventry make Onen offer. No, not in a bajillion years, you guys. Like, go fly a kite. Or Burns. Oh, I would sell him. It's potential value 160,000. Okay, you can have him. Bye. I mean, if more of that happens, I won't have a giant squad, which is great. Some of my players that I'm not going to be using are starting to get picked up, bought up, or loaned out. Although, I guess I arranged this guy to be loaned to me last season, thinking I would need him this season, and now I regret. I have the buyer's remorse. So I have a loan player I'm not going to use.
And you can't terminate the loan?
I could. Just why did I think I was going to need this guy? Oh well. He can rot on my bench for a little while until the team that I got him from complains that I'm not playing him enough. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Now you're sounding like me.
Yeah, a little bit. When I played on Touch, I had the problem with players wanting more than Southend could pay them. Yes, I have this problem every day on this game. Forced to sell them for less expensive players. Yep, that's normal. It's absolutely normal. Oh, I've been raided. And my new sound for raids came on there. It scared me because I'm not used to that sound. Mountain Island Gaming, how's it going? You scared me a little bit. That was great. Well, I put in new sounds for things today, right? So I have a new sound for the raid, and it actually scared me because I haven't heard it. I just tried to do a shout out. Is it this way? See, this is how little I get rated. I literally don't even know how to do shout outs properly. Oh my gosh. It's not that way either? I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderfully right now because I have a really good team on this. And that's making me happy.
And he's now got to try and go undefeated in the league.
That is it's my goal every season, but it's my goal this season too, obviously. I stick to that goal.
There's one team standing in your way, and that's me.
That's correct. He does often thwart me at being undefeated.
You take 45 shots, and I score on the one shot that I take.
Noxco! You playing as Noxco. How far along are you with it? I now have too many strikers. Yep. I was not planning this well in advance. I just got excited over the potential to sign as many good players as I want. Now I have too many strikers. Season 2, promoted in Season 1 to League 2, top 4 right now in November. Great start! Wow, top 4. First time of asking, huh? It's really... We are attempting to figure out, and I mean, I'm sure that a lot of the people watching right now are aware of this video that Zealand revealed that the dynamic youth ratings aren't working the way they're supposed to in this game. We're one of those, Jacob and I are trying to play that whole build a nation thing and see how high we can take Ireland up and utilize this dynamic youth rating thing. Well, we're 2 seasons in. We've done very, very well in European competitions. My team, his team, and Shamrock Rovers keeps finishing 3rd and also doing well. And I am using, looking behind the hood, I haven't used the in-game editor. You can see that I haven't used it. But I have used it to peek and look and see if our dynamic youth rating keeps going up. And it hasn't budged, so I'm pretty sad. Disappointed to hear. I mean, it's not all a lie. It just doesn't work the way we think it does. That's all. But that's almost as bad as just straight up lying about it.
Would you have to put the fault on SI for that, for not explaining it in
Jacob will
better
never.
detail.
You know what? Miles is never going to admit that it's wrong. Just
Well, I
doesn't.
know that. Did you see his comment on Zealand's video?
Yeah, he won't admit that he's wrong. He won't admit that he messed up. He's just not that type of person. He's never going to say, yeah, okay, we messed it up and now we'll fix it. No, he's gonna be like, no, working as intended. Like, get out of here, man. It's just too smug like that, I guess. Figure out what to do with some of these many have back on my. That's just how game developers are. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them are. Well, I know a few really cool ones. If you ever saw this little gem of a game called Rise to Ruins on Steam, play it if you haven't. Wonderful. And the developer of that game is one of the coolest people you'll ever meet. He's really engaging. If you join his Discord, he'll just shoot the shit with you. He's just one of those people. So, yeah. Jump the shark promising something they have the capability to deliver. Yeah. There's a lot of truth to that. I'm trying to mull over what I can and can't say about it. I'll go with there's there hasn't been a significant under the hood change in Football Manager in a really long time, and the reason being is that it's kind of at a developmental wall, if you will. So I mean that's why a lot of the changes are just taking things that already exist and kind of smashing them together cosmetically onto one screen. Those have been the major changes. Well, you have to admit that you screwed up and work to make it better, but that's just it. This game is not, the game engine is full. It's bloated. It is not going to budge anytime soon without a major overhaul. And that would involve taking, some time off of continuously spitting this game out. There are, and I gotta check my you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say this. I'll keep it vague. There are people working on expanding the game engine on the side of this. So those people exist. How much progress that'll make remains to be seen. So we'll know more eventually. Eventually is all you're going to get. Well, there's no timelines on anything, apparently. That involves making promises, and you can't make promises if you're not going to keep them. Right, I signed Charlie Brown. Man, have I got all the strikers? What am I going to do with all these strikers? So I got Brown, Main. Guess I'm going to try to get him some playing time. So I really, 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 really sign this guy.
Wait a second.
I get him in. It's because he has an optional future fee. That's why I brought him in. He's young, has an option. Okay, I got him in on a loan because at the time I couldn't buy him. I had no money. So I had the foresight to loan him in ahead of time so that he would be on my club with a transfer fee after I got transfer money. That's I remember now why I brought him in. Now I pulled up Michael Scott. Who's Michael Scott? I got to hear more. I'm not sure who you're referring to, but I'm sure there's a good story. Is this one of those things that everybody should know what that is, and now I feel embarrassed that I didn't? Do you know what Michael Scott is, Jacob?
Me? Yeah. No.
Okay, cool. I don't feel alone then. We've got a plan. We're going to have a meeting and figure out the plan. Is this something that Michael Scott said? And it's a great quote, if that's a thing.
Let's see if I can.
This person said.
I thought he played at Rochdale. He was at Rochdale.
Who's at Rochdale?
Joe Dunn.
The Office. Oh, okay. I never watched The Office too often. Only seen a few episodes. I like the movie. But yeah, no, okay. All right. The Office. Understood now. The Office is very quotable. I haven't seen much of it. So I need to be signing.
I still need to get a good assistant manager. And the one that I want.
I'd volunteer, but I'm busy with my own team here.
See how it is?
Tricky thing about the dynamic youth rating, it's never been fully understood. Youth rating isn't the only influence in how good a youth. That's true. That's right. What's weird is that it's definitely was solid, so it was highlighted, right? I definitely think the club does in a continental competition should impact youth rating. Which, to your understanding, it doesn't. And you don't need to be sorry for the wall. That's actually not that long. It's true. I got to the I'm playing in Ireland here, and I got to the group stage. Yeah, I actually qualified for the group stage, and I even won 2 matches. I beat Juventus with my little St. Pat's team. The games didn't matter anymore, and I'd already clinched last place, but I beat Juventus. And making the group stage with this team, the Irish Premier Division's reputation went up. But because the international team sucked, the nation's reputation went down. But I'm, looking at our youth rating, it has not budged one bit at all. So sad. I thought, but we'll see. Right now, what we're waiting for is to the point where we can raise it so that we have 2 Champions League places in our division. That'll make a difference. What are we going to do to get 2 Champions League places, Jacob?
Give me 1 second, I'll let you know.
Okay.
It's not going to be updated until June, though, so...
Right. I need to know what it is we need to accomplish. Other than just win. We already know that part.
2 Champions League places. We need 15th. We need to be 15th in the nation coefficient. So right now we are 34th.
Ouch.
So we still got a long ways to go. So
yes.
It means...
Yes, we do.
As long as, you, me, and Shamrock do well in Europe, that can rise pretty quickly.
Okay, so here we are. It's January here. Head of the game.
Let's see. Give me 2 seconds.
Hole in the wall country with no money and influence. Yeah, that's right. It was also pointed out how some of the responses were that a nation has to be fully developed, which he pointed out that's bullshit because even a developed nation in the game, it's still developed. We have a gigantic rating. That's just, it doesn't work the way it's intended because they want to keep it. Are you ready for this? And I was realistic. Because that's where you need to suspend disbelief in this game. I don't know about realism and why they cling to it so tightly as they do. Because honestly, how realistic is Football Manager? It's not. It's not all that realistic. So yeah, no, I think it's really the endeavors to try to make it, reality based instead of fun and entertaining just doesn't balance well.
Being able to play as a U19 coach and work your way up that way than just starting at like PSG or Man United or Man City.
Right. Because that's still managing. You can't argue that that's not football. It's this big thing about not putting out a director of football is that that's not Football Manager. Fine. But you should be able to work your way up. There's some valid points on both sides. I understand all of that. And I was disappointed, that's all, because I, like many people, am sitting right here, right now, playing a game, with my pal, trying to raise our nation up so we can see that dynamic youth rating in action, and disappointed to find out that it's probably not going. But I haven't given up yet, because, if we get to the point where we have 2 Champions League places and we both do well at that, maybe the needle will move. Maybe we can budget. Even a little bit would be nice. So, I'm still ever hopeful that something. We're a developed nation with a high importance on our games. That's all in there. So, started as Romania.
That's an interesting save.
Started as Romania, but had to scrap it after you found out. Yeah, I can't believe. Sorry to hear.
See, my thing with that is okay. So go under the assumption that dynamic youth rating isn't significantly different than last year. There were still a bunch of people that did, quote unquote, build a nation saves, but they knew that it was going to be a lot harder. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So I understand the premise for for doing a build a nation 2022 is no longer there, but I don't know if I'd be able to scrap it entirely unless I had a new save already, like in the back of my head.
Yeah.
And like for me, that's waiting for the mega pack to come out so I can manage in Africa.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But like I understand why people don't have the motivation to play it anymore, to play their saves anymore.
Right. So in response to that, lying through your teeth to promise a feature that isn't what it is, I have the response that it's probably very controversial but accurate, and that is, what are you going to do about it? You're not going to stop buying the game. He knows that. I've literally had that conversation with him. He knows people aren't going to stop buying Football Manager because it has no competition. There's so many times we get disappointed with this game. If you read my reviews on Steam for all the the Football Managers, most of them aren't.
Yeah,
they're not good.
I can attest to that.
I work for the goddamn company. I've been a researcher and a tester for SI Games on Football Manager for 17 years, and I'm still one of the people who bitches the most about it. I tread that line on losing my fucking job and telling the goddamn truth. I do. But the thing is that what are you going to do about it? You're not going to stop buying it. So,
since I don't work for SI, I almost posted on Facebook the other day that SI has become the new EA Sports, and that they don't really care about what their fans say. They just know they're going to keep buying the game year in and year out.
I've been saying that since 2013.
Yeah.
So that was actually on my Football Manager 2013 review, almost verbatim. So, yeah, it's horrible that these things go on, but I'm just going to try to take the good of it, right? Like, I'm still sitting here playing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't buy it. Nothing. But I would buy it, I'm sure, because there's no other game like it. It's still the best sports simulation, arguably, out of the park, notwithstanding Ultimate Team.
I was going to say, I'd get you into baseball so you play out of the park.
I mean, I like Out of the Park. I've been playing that one since first. I liked that, I had a direct hand in Out of the Park being part of SI Games for a brief moment in time. That was.
Believe it or not, all of the Ultimate Teams that Madden has garner a lot of income. So that's why in recent years there's not been a lot of gameplay improvement. Like a lot of people that I know still play Madden Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
My friends play FIFA Ultimate Team. But I can't play FIFA anymore because it's about getting spending the most money and getting the best players. It's almost like Perfect Team and Out of the Park. Almost.
I play FIFA once in a while still. I poke my nose to the Ultimate Team, but only to open up the free packs I continuously get. I don't actually play against other people. I don't care about the gaming.
You're in last place.
On what?
In the league.
Oh, look! Oh my god! We're at last, guys!
Sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
That's what I get for having a team that starts with S. Yeah, it's alphabetical. So I play FIFA. I don't mind FIFA. It's still fun, but it's not what I would like it to be at this point. After the years that they've had to improve it, they haven't. It's much the same as Football Manager in that they've bloated their game engine to the point where they're not really going to upgrade it a whole bunch in order to make a lot of new features, because you're just going to buy it the way it is. If you really want to do something different, I'll tell you all guys a secret. Y'all want to hear it? I'm gonna tell you a secret that I guarantee none of you know about. Okay, you ready for this? One of the best football management games you can play with an update. FIFA Manager 14, still get that. and there's a fan patch that updates it to the current season, and it's still a great game. If you get the fan patch and update it to the current season, I don't know why you guys aren't playing that right now, because you ought to be. If you need a break from this, like I often do, get yourself FIFA Manager 14, get the current fan patch, and play it. It's still a wonderful game. I mean, it still has its limitations and whatnot, but at least we don't have to sit around and complain that nobody's doing anything to improve it, because the game is literally over. So it is what it is. You're going to get what you get, but there's still so many cool things about that game, manager-wise and everything else, that I really enjoy. So yeah, you've all learned something. FIFA had Football Manager. FIFA Manager is a separate game. EA made a management game called FIFA Manager. It stopped in 2014. So it's not just FIFA with a management mode. It was supposed to be a direct rival to Football Manager, and for a brief amount of time it was, but then it got filled with bugs, and they didn't want to fix them, and people weren't going to buy it because they wouldn't buy a buggy game, and EA did what it always does. It says, well, we're going to take our ball and go home because you won't buy our buggy game. And also they couldn't compete with Football Manager. But with the fan patch, it actually works very, very well. FIFA actually had a manager mode. I mean, yeah, I do remember that. And it still has a manager mode. It's just not very... I still play it. It's because it's something different to do. But I'm just that much into sports management games to the point where I'll play any of them just for the difference in what they all offer. But by all means, I'm hoping the lack of responses I'm getting in my chat here is because people went, holy shit, and you're all now downloading Manager 14 in the fan patch. Because it's cool. Check it out. It's awesome. You're going to be like, why didn't they continue this series? It's going to make you sad that they gave up on it. But it's going to make you happy that you have a different football management game. I mean, I told Jacob about it. He didn't download it because he knows he's going to lose hours to it. PC
and
only.
I'm still in school, so
yeah, exactly.
I can't.
That's just it. It's really addictive. It's as addictive as Football Manager. Yeah, it's only on the PC. What do I think the biggest game's Football Manager changes Football Manager needs? Oh my god! I mean, this has been discussed to death. It doesn't matter which changes I think it needs. They're probably not going to happen.
But you're still allowed an opinion.
I mean, that's true. Let's see. Let's pretend I have Miles' job tomorrow. So I sit on my arse and tell other people what to do and actually not lift a finger myself. Let's start with that. I'm really treading the line today. I should watch it. I mean, the guy doesn't do any coding. He just tells other people what to do. So if I had to decide what direction Football Manager takes, I would probably go with it needs a year or two off to rebuild the game engine itself to make it bigger. Because thank you for that follow. Wow, I get to hear that new sound. So it needs the game engine needs to be done. I don't know if it needs to be built from the ground up, because the game engine is actually really great. I've seen it a few years back when I was working NHL Eastside Hockey Manager. I got to see the game engine under the hood, and it's actually really impressive. It has grown some since then, but it's kind of at its max, so they need to take at least the majority of it and expand it. That has to happen. Season pass in the meantime. I think just, kind of like what PES did. Pro Evolution Soccer, they put out just a patch for the current game, like a new update patch. That's all we're buying already anyways. Let's face it. I think for a season or two, if they just did a patch to update it and it was just a smaller amount of money, you know what I mean? That'd be cool. Keeps the researchers working. You got to test all of that stuff. And there's everybody still has their jobs basically, right? Because all the coders are working on the new database, on the new game engine. They're still going to make some money, albeit not as much, but they're still going to make a ton of money because you're going to be buying the update. This year had different animations. The animations are slightly more nuanced. It's true.
Different animations when they walk out for a friendly match.
How big
or
of a
whatever.
priority? Yeah, I don't know how big of a priority that was to people. Like a few years back, I wrote a review on Football Manager, and it was weird because at the time, the forums for SI Games, they had an entire section for things you wanted to see in the game. Now it's all one thread. It's just one thread because they don't read it anymore. Miles stopped reading that years ago. Wish list thread. It used to be a wish list section, and I and a few other people there, and we had this list of the most wanted, most requested features, things that people. Most requested features are not, I don't. It's everybody wanted to be able to use their manager money for something. It's the number one most requested feature in Football Manager still to this day. And Miles has flat out said, no, it's never going to happen. Fair enough. Fine. Whatever. But, I wrote out the entire top 10 list of features people wanted to see. And I wrote that out for Football Manager 2015. So here we are, 7 versions later, and they've implemented exactly 2 of those features. Other 8, he has flat out said will never happen. So if you want to, really show just how little he cares about what you want, there it is. Which is why every year, they pay lip service. They'll put on a Twitter post or something. What's the new features you want to see in Football Manager? And everybody blows up the post. Oh, I want to see this. There. Just doing it to pay you lip service. They don't want to know what you want in the game. It's never going to happen. So I get disheartened. It's unfortunate because I lead one of the Football Manager forums and groups on Facebook. And it just makes me sad when people get excited over the new version coming out. It's a month or two before the new game comes out, and people are like, what do you really want to see in this one? It makes me sad to be like, you're all going to post some really great stuff. Get none of it. So sad. SI and Giants would be 2 peas in a pod. Yeah, I mean, it's at the point now where the sales figures are astronomical. 1 or 2 people getting pissed off and saying they're not going to buy the game anymore just isn't going to matter.
Yeah.
FIFA Manager lets you play matches like FIFA. It did not. As I said, competitor. So no, you don't actually get to play the games like FIFA. That would have been cool. It is really disheartening. I'm sorry you guys joined my stream for me to depress you all. I'm really, really sorry for that. But I mean, it's good to know these things at the same time. If I'm going to, if I was to take all of this disheartening stuff and, it's still the greatest Football Manager simulation out there. Okay, so take it for what it is. Enjoy it for what it is. Just adjust your expectations a little, maybe, and I mean, you don't want to have to. You want to hope for the best, but in this case, I'm going to say just don't expect too much, and you're really going to love it. Yeah, I mean, I have to be, but I don't want everybody to be like, oh my god, I hate this game now. I'm never going to play it, and I'm never going to buy it. Please don't do that. I like my job. I like researching this game. I like testing for this game. I like writing tactics that, the guys are all playing pre-made tactics. Did you know that 4 of those tactics are mine? I'm sorry that I made the Gengin Press overpowered, but we adjusted it this year. I hope it's better. So yeah, it's just a matter of the game isn't bad. We all know it's not bad. That's why we play it. It's just not developing the way we hoped it would, and the reasons are sad. So let's put it that way. That's a better way of putting it, because the game isn't bad. The game is tremendous. I still will season. I play it for thousands of hours. And we all get together and chat about it like we're doing now and talk about how much we enjoy this or that, or how much we don't enjoy this or that, or how we're disappointed to hear that the new feature we were excited about isn't what we thought it was. But we can put enough pressure on that it will be fixed. The modding community will fix some of the bad points. I hope you're right. I hope somebody figures out a way to mod but that's just it. The trouble with the dynamic youth is that it's not database.
Even still, the modding community gets disappointed with how bad the pregame editor is. So, like, if you remember 3 or 4 FMs ago, the FM creator, Klassen, who basically would recreate all the leagues around the world, he stopped doing that. And, like, he was well known for having very accurate league databases. And so he's only done San Marino and Italy the last 3 iterations of the game. And it's disheartening because that's one thing that a lot of people looked forward to was his World Mega Pack. Like, if you wanted to play in freaking Afghanistan, you could play in Afghanistan. If you wanted to play in Cambodia, you could play in Cambodia.
Yeah.
If you wanted to play in New Zealand, you could. But he's not doing that anymore because how much frustration he has with the pregame editor.
Yeah, the editor does have a lot of
and
options.
a lot of people, at least in the Football Manager group, like to play the English level 10 database and the England level 22 database. I know the creator of that, and he says it's even more difficult year in and year out trying to get everything situated. Like, they released the level 10 database and they did all the testing. They thought everything was good.
Yep.
And they realized that after one season, you had no league rules registration. So you could basically buy anybody you want. You could have trialists in your match. And for a lot of people, it was game breaking. So they had to wait for SI to come out with an update. And then they were able to release it again. It's really sad that how difficult it's become to mod the game.
What would you give, honestly, to have the level of modification ability that Out of the Park has on this game?
Oh God,
Right?
I would buy the game probably for the editor itself.
I mean, just
at that point,
I've probably spent more on Out of the Park's editor, just editing shit, than I have actually playing the game. Sometimes, anyway, it feels that way. Because I love how moddable that game is. That game is infinitely moddable. There's so many possibilities on it.
It's quite literally named a baseball sandbox.
Yeah,
and
accurately.
I've modded it myself and poured tons and tons of hours into that game.
Oh man,
that franchise.
You know, if Football Manager could have anywhere near the same level of customization as Out of the Park, I would just lose my shit. So
I'm like,
there you go. There's probably one of my top personal choices if I got to choose the direction of the game. After I'm done telling them that that we need to expand the game engine, I would definitely like to see customization have a really big priority on it. Because this creating your own universe is part of what we're trying to do here.
Mm-hmm. I don't think people realize how difficult it is editing the database in Football Manager. Like, I like to consider myself pretty competent at it, but like,
it's tedious. It's monotonous.
It is. It is.
Shouldn't be as hard as it is, but there you have it. It's awful. Just plain awful.
I should be able to look up the rules of all the leagues in the United States and come up with a pretty accurate recreation of it in Football Manager. It's near impossible unless you understand the advanced editing rules.
Hockey Manager. Which Hockey Manager are you talking about? Which Hockey Manager?
Eastside franchise.
Couple.
And there's even one on mobile that's pretty good.
If he says Eastside, I'm going to be real happy. You know that.
And if he says franchise,
Eastside. Oh, thank you. I'm really glad you liked it. See, that makes me really happy. So when Riz brought that over to SI Games, this is how I ended up at SI Games, is because I was on Eastside Hockey Manager first. So yeah, the freeware version of that. Did you ever play the freeware version? Ever? Anybody heard of the freeware version of Eastside Hockey Manager? It was hosted on fhockey.com. That was my website. Neat, huh? Small world. If you knew anything about that. Yeah, Eastside Hockey Manager it's still a decent game, but the game engine is like many versions ago now. Football Manager, so it's not a fine game, but it's very bland compared to where the direction Football Manager has come. Obviously, I would have to have seen that game keep up with the iterations of the game engine that Football Manager through transformations and changes. But yeah, I would honestly, and I don't want to say it because it's painful for me, but the franchise Hockey Manager now. It's quite a bit. It's more based on Out of the Park's game engine, which is great. If you have to play a Hockey Manager simulation, franchise Hockey Manager.
I think that they'll do well in the coming years, franchise hockey manager.
Yeah, it's improved exponentially every year. No, Jeff was my assistant, a researcher on Eastside Hockey Manager for Eastside Hockey Manager. So I'm really happy to see him succeeding at it, and that's his game. So neat. So yeah, no, it's a tremendous thing that he's done there, and I talk to him every now and then just to see how he's doing. I think he's really enjoying making that. Started as just kind of a crappy shell of what Out of the Park is, but now I think it's a very good, truly immersive sports simulation. So I reluctantly want to tell people that it's better than Eastside Hockey Manager now.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, gotta be. Whether you guys all have fun playing, pick the thing that I was part of. And I'm probably the only streamer doing it. I only started streaming in March. And the reason I started streaming was twofold. Was because a lot of people that I knew constantly asked me questions over and over again about Football Manager. And I loved helping them, especially about the tactics stuff and whatnot. But for me, it was difficult because answering the same question over and over again is hard, and now I have a way to make VODs, so I actually made a transfer video on my YouTube, so talking about transfers because somebody asked about it. But now I can actually make VODs out of it and use information from here that's already pre-recorded, and somebody can say, well, what about this, this, and this? And I can say, go check out this stream that I did. So I started streaming to answer questions, and also because I'm one of the few people who can kind of openly talk about this, because I have a job with SI where I'm not physically in their office. I'm still in Canada. I work remotely, and my NDA is slightly different than, say, a programmer, right? So, but there's only so much I can say at any given time. But I'm also really good, having a law background myself, I'm really good at knowing where that line is. So, I don't just sit here and hesitate. I will tell people exactly things that they need to know, hopefully not crossing that line. I also have a lot of idiot friends to play games with. Thanks, Wayne.
Call me an idiot now?
No, I think he's calling himself one because I spent the last week playing Satisfactory with him. But yeah, also because I have a tremendous amount of fun playing games. He's not just Football Manager. I actually do Football Manager a couple of days a week. Because I get burned out on it. I really do. I don't know how some of these guys play it 5, 6, 7 days a week. I can't. I have to play other games. Yeah. Wish to put the same effort into football games as they do NBA games. You find the NBA games are always superior? Really? Okay. I mean, the gameplay of the NBA games is pretty decent, but I don't know about the management aspects of it. What's your favorite NBA game? I should start by asking you that. Why could they not put the PC version of FM on Series X as powerful enough? I'll answer that question right now. Because it's work. Because it would require effort. Don't underestimate Miles' laziness, ever.
I think it's been the only thing him and I agree on. So we're both lazy.
Yeah, no, he's not a hard worker. No. And when it comes to allotting his resources and then the employees he has towards the jobs he wants, expanding the amount of platforms that a game goes out on is not at the top priority list. It was for a little while, but now they're scaling it back again. It's stretched out, He didn't want to have to hire more people because that would involve not being a money rubber. Okay, let's change the subject a little bit. Back to that NBA thing. Which NBA game do you like?
I actually can't think of any. I know there's a few NBA management games on Steam.
Because, it can't be like the 2K series. The 2K series, like Pro Basketball Manager. Okay, cool. I think I have
Pro Basketball Manager I've heard of.
I think I have some.
Look. And then there's Draft Day Sports. I think that's the other one.
It's Pro Basketball Manager. It's not on Steam, I think.
It is. There's two. There's two basketball games on Steam.
Look at that, Pro Basketball Manager 2022. Say it's good. Oh, it's got mixed reviews. Though 60% isn't exactly mixed. 75 overall. List. If you say it's decent, I'll give it a try. I love sports management, but basketball is one that I don't know enough about. Basketball. I mean, I like basketball. I know enough about the sport in general, but there's so many management games that I getting the wrong one.
I'll let you know that game was on my wish list as well.
Basketball management.
So you know, yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna buy it, I'll get the new one. 2021 is still on here and it's cheaper. I always try to just keep up with the most frequent thing. So cool. Thanks for the recommendation. Wolverine Studios.
That the Wolverine Studios, I think, is Draft Day Sports.
Oh, okay.
Let me look.
Umix Studios. Umix. Spell this and I say it right. Yeah. So Umix Studios or Umix Studios, however you say that, that's what that would be. They have made several versions of this, and they're either negative or mixed. It's only recent. This new one is the only one that has positive reviews. So that may be why I avoid Farm Sim. There's a lot of different farming simulators. I mean, I'm really glad to talk about other games too with you guys, because anybody who likes Football Manager, obviously, it's good with me. We like simulation games. You know, it's the experience of management. I don't know, micromanaging it's fun, right? So if somebody says this farm sim game is really good, I'm probably going to check it out.
Okay, let's do this.
I always worry those games are going to feel like work, though.
I've tried one of the older Draft Day sports games. It's like College Basketball 2019, I think.
Okay.
And it's very it's like there's a bit of a learning curve, kind of like Football Manager when you first start.
Okay.
But I'm not a big basketball fan, so I didn't continue it.
Okay.
But if I put some more effort into it, I probably would have.
Okay. Farming Simulator 22. It's already on my wish list. Yes, somebody I know. Yeah, very good reviews. That's why. Okay. That's already on my wish list. And yes, Wayne, you're absolutely correct. We screw up simulator. We have American football. I find some of these older games. Let me just try to give you. I find some of them to be too databasey. Does that make sense, Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
They're just too much of a spreadsheet database simulator. I mean, I understand Football Manager is still just a spreadsheet database simulator, but it doesn't feel like one. You know what I mean?
So, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do the Draft Day Sports football one. I would actually play the Pro Strategy Football game.
Yeah.
That's on mobile and Steam.
Cool.
And I liked it a lot better. It's much more simulation based, and you can also mod it pretty easily. So, like for example, since it doesn't have the NFL license, but people were able to make the NFL teams and the NFL players, you know, pretty quickly after the game comes out. You can go back and do historical seasons as a mod as well. Some people have been able to recreate college football in that game.
Sorry, he was asking, what's the name of the game you're talking about right now?
Pro Strategy Football.
Pro Strategy Football. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, what did
Sorry.
you say? No, that's okay. That's okay. Not a problem at all. You guys ask questions anytime you want. City Skylines, love it. Absolutely. I have every DLC for that game. Oh, it's so addictive. Transport
Once
FIFA
I get a good
2,
enough,
I haven't tried that.
once
Planet
I get a good
Coaster.
enough computer, I'll get City Skylines and play it.
Ah, damn it! An ad just ran. I have to wait and talk about this more in a minute. It's not all subscribed. Yes, Wayne, I know you're there. A farming simulator game. If those are multiplayer, are they even multiplayer? Because yeah, we could totally screw up. Okay, this would be the biggest star ever if I could get this guy to sign for me to pay almost his contract demand.
Okay, it's not somebody I was going after.
You can play multiplayer on it. Damn, that's amazing. Okay, now I'm really interested in that. This guy's probably going to say no to based on what I just offered him. It's the best I can do. Best I can do.
That's a lot of stuff that he wants.
But he's almost a Premier League quality striker, though, is the thing. Well, I mean, not quite, but almost. Like English Premier League, not Irish Premier League. So, I mean, the fact that he's willing to sign for me at all, I'm pumped. It's another striker, though. It comes cross-platform as well. Cool. That's really rare, but I'm glad that a lot of the consoles are starting to mesh up with PC on multiplayer.
What other strategy games do I have? Motorsport Man. I have an updated version of Motorsport Manager. Franchise Soccer Manager, OTP. I think as far as PC games, those are it. I can actually look while I wait.
That's the lawnmower simulator? Like, what the fuck?
I've played the not Tour de France, Pro Cycling Manager.
I thought the same thing. Yeah, how was Pro Cycling Manager?
If you don't understand cycling,
okay, then I'm out.
It's yeah.
Okay, so I've heard good things about the new Pro Tennis Manager. I haven't tried it yet, but some people were saying it's pretty decent. It's actually good, but it's a little bit tedious. It's a little bit monotonous. They haven't automated enough of the training stuff, so I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know if I want micromanaging in a game that I don't know that well. I would like to have a little bit more, let my staff do some of that stuff for me. But that's apparently not an option on that.
This one was out in left field, but you want to know what I wish that they had?
What's that?
Better PBA bowling game. They have because I like bowling, and there was a game back in the 90s.
Yeah,
where it was much more like a more realistic style of PBA bowling, in the sense that there are 128 people bowling in a qualifying tournament, and then there's a match play, and then a step ladder final, like how they did it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But now a lot of the bowling games are more geared towards just the graphics and poppy graphics and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's the one sport I wish that I had still. I had it. My old computer had a CD-ROM where I could play it, but my laptop now doesn't have one. So.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Prison Architect, I have a little over 300 hours on that one, so I agree. But I was disappointed when Paradox bought them because now they're just about pumping out DLCs and not fixing a lot of the bugs in the game. So that made me sad. But Prison Architect is fantastic. Board games, huh? Board games. I used to be a big game person. Now I don't have enough people to play them with. Didn't COVID kind of kill board games? I mean, are you talking about video game versions of board games? Because, I mean, those are really on the rise, aren't they?
You get a guy from Florentina.
Yeah, I was wondering the same. Real board games or video games? Okay, so I'm going to have a lot of problems with strikers. Oh my god. Okay, so I have 5 of them now, and I just signed another.
At least you won't be going after Hoban anymore.
No, but I need to have less strikers. Oh yeah, I used to love board games. I used to play them all the time. Cards Against Humanity. Cards Against Humanity is a classic now, isn't it? Instant classic. It's on the same level as Monopoly now. Everybody knows it. Everyone loves it. Cards Against Humanity Star Wars edition. There's lots of expansions for that. Shouldn't be surprised. I don't know what to do with all my strikers. I did this to myself.
Uh-huh.
I brought back Parsmane because I was really excited to have him back. Maybe I just end his loan. 3-striker system. God damn it. That's funny because we talked about me using 3-striker system prior to me going with the diamond. And then I decided against it. You know, I mean, but then I won't be able to play guys like Josh Sims. I hung on to him because he played an amazing season. Pandemic. I don't know. Wayne's the board game guy. He knows a lot of board games. Wayne, have you played Pandemic? I was going to say, what's that about? But I think I think it's probably pretty close with that one. Pandemic is a great co-op game. Oh, I love co-op games. It's my favorite type of games. I'm not much of a PvP person anymore. No, but it's good. Haven't played it, but it's good. Okay. I mean, it says a lot right there. Free striker system, he says. Tactical sacrifice for it. This one. Oh. I'm going to have a lot of troubles trying to figure. Spanish flu seasons. Yeah.
All right. So don't hate me.
Oh.
But do you know who Mordecai Brown is? The baseball player?
No.
Okay, then never mind.
Not off the top of my head. Well, that's it. That's it. Just never mind.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell me anything. Oh, wait, I'll try this. Why do you ask? Tell me.
Well, he was a very well-known baseball player back in the 1900s. His nickname is Three Finger Brown because he had 3 fingers in his pitching hand.
Oh, okay. Unique.
Very, very good pitcher in real life. He became available in the auction house, and I contemplated buying him, but I don't think I will. While I was waiting for you to hit continue.
Oh,
sorry.
My bad.
Because it's okay.
I didn't realize I hadn't.
Okay.
I mean, okay, so Mordecai Brown is famous for this finger. So he's not like Jim Abbott level of famous then. Right?
I would say bigger.
Than Jim Abbott? Dude, Jim Abbott had one hand.
I didn't know that.
Jim Abbott pitched with one hand in the major leagues. He only had one hand. You don't know who Jim Abbott is? Oh my God. Okay. I mean, you don't have to be a baseball nut to look up Jim Abbott and be absolutely blown away.
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, it's a pitcher. He pitched with one hand. He'd throw the ball, and after his follow-through, he'd slide his hand into the glove, just in case the ball came at him.
He's not in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Jim Abbott? Oh, he ought to be if he isn't. Worst simulation managements ever played?
He's in the National College Baseball Hall of Fame. I think Mordecai Brown is...
Hall of Fame? Okay, well, then he's probably a better player, but I'm talking about playing at a high level with a disability. I don't know. I can't think of the worst simulation management games off the top of my head, but I mean, there's some really god-awful ones. Oh, wait. No, I do. I remember.
Mordecai Brown's in the Hall of Fame, FYI.
That's okay. That's still impressive.
Okay, worst simulation games.
Game Tycoon 2. If that's the one I want. Yep. Game Tycoon 2. Oh my God. Terrible. Just terrible. Bus Simulator. I've never heard of that one. That's probably. Okay. How do you do a bus simulator? I mean, poorly, obviously, in this case. But tell me what was awful about it. I'm really Just to know. Why does everybody want to buy Onenoff? Because he's not making much money. Has a release clause, guys. You're gonna have to pay it. It's a release clause. Oh, I'd be real sad if somebody bought him right now. House Flipperson. Tried to find a game I could.
It was just chores.
It's just Planet Base. Okay, yeah, that's another kind of game. I was not a huge fan of that. There's some better games than that. Didn't know you played Planet Base. Sorry, you had that. I just bought today Space Haven because it's got really good now, so I'll check that one soon. Management games to me has a whole lot of like layers. Survival games still fall into that. Like I've been playing Satisfactory with Wayne for a while now, and gosh, that's addictive. It's like Factorio, but less complicated and more 3D.
$17,000. We do not have that kind of money.
Oh my god! So it's literally just going from one bus stop to the next with bad controls. Yeah, that sounds like a horrible game. It doesn't even sound like a management game. It's bus simulator. It's a simulator. So you're simulating being a bus driver. Ouch. I could think of so many better ways to do that to deliver a game like that. Oh, that's what it is. I have so few friendlies. Oh my god, I only have 3. I better arrange some more friendlies here, you know.
Sounds like a good idea if you ask me.
I got really distracted by all this fun conversation and realized my assistant dropped the ball. It's worse than Train Simulator. I've never played Train Simulator. I'm talking about management games. These are simulation games.
He's also transfer listed by request. Let's see.
So let's see. Atomic Society. Yep, I have that one also. Yep, you're right. That one was just very bland. I
might continue.
Yep, go ahead. I put 4 hours into it and left it bad. So it's very good.
How critical are you when it comes to writing your reviews?
How critical? What a weird question. I don't.
Like,
good night. Thanks for hanging out.
That's a good one.
Thanks for the raid, especially. Awesome.
Like, are you more likely to give a game the benefit of a doubt after you've, like, I don't know how better I can put it.
I'm going to try to answer it this way. I try to put myself in the position of, would I want you to spend your money on it? Okay? I don't worry about me, because, I mean, if I play a bad game, so be it. I just go buy another one.
Mm-hmm.
I try to imagine that there's some person reading my reviews that literally has a small budget for gaming, and they're in a position where I was in my 20s, where I only have so much to spend, and I cannot buy a lemon. If I buy a shit game, that's all I have for a good long while. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So my big thing is I don't want somebody to buy a game and then regret it. So my reviews are based on, I'm going to tell you whether or not I would want to spend money on that game in that position.
Okay.
That's how I base it. That's how I figure it. I'm going to save you from all the bad shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. My experienced midfielder is out for 5 months.
City Skylines is the best city building game. it's not close, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I like watching people do let's plays through it as well.
Yeah, I love that so much. I could just play it. Hours just melt away when That's another thing. Some games, you'll just start playing them, right? And then you look at the clock and be like, "Where the hell did the last 5 hours go?" Those games just instantly get a good review from me.
Yeah,
it's like right off the
I
bat. I'm
agree.
like, yeah, I love games that make me. It's the South Park meme. I'm just going to play this for 2 hours and it's done. The old South Park meme. So yeah, it's like, why is the sun coming up?
Wait a minute.
DLCs, yeah, the worst the game runs. I haven't noticed that. I haven't come across that issue yet.
Why would a player accept a trial if they don't intend on possibly joining that club?
They wouldn't. Should have at least some interest in joining the club. Did you get a guy on trial who won't sign with you?
Yes.
And he's a free agent.
Yes. Luke Amos. Amos?
Okay, miss. Okay, I see him there. Joins you on trial, has no intention of signing.
My client would be willing to consider joining the club in general, but he feels the club lacks the financial muscle to be able to meet his contract demands.
There you go. So it's not a lack of interest. You just don't have the money to sign him.
His estimated salary is between $600 and $800 a week.
But clearly they want more than that, so the estimation is wrong. Right?
Stupid man.
It's like when I was driving past that billboard the other day, and it's a big sign for the lotto, right? And it said estimated jackpot. And it has a big number on there. It's like estimated. I didn't know they could do that, right? And then you win it, and you go in and they'd be like, yeah, we were off by 2 zeros. We estimate that you were angry. Yeah. What?
Off by 2 zeros is a factor. It's
I'm just saying,
factor.
Estimates are estimates. Try to remember that. They were probably wrong on their estimate. Or the estimate is old information.
You know what? Let me see if it's old information. Because that means I would have a scouting report on him, right?
40 mods, 5,000 assets. Holy shit. And I like some of the mods in that game. I can play it without mods just fine because I like to get the achievements, but that's a lot of freaking mods. Yeah, I play it with no issues. I've never run into lag on it. I'll fire that under D for donut. Thanks, dude. But you've just got to have that sense of humor.
All right, time to do my squad numbers, which means I'm going to clear all the numbers and have everyone have a different number.
Okay.
So I can increase my shirt sales. If
you don't like Mitch Hedberg, there's just something wrong with you. Mods lets you get achievements with mods. Is it on Steam, that mod? Because I needs that. Okay, so this Italian striker is going to join me in July.
Just before the Champions League.
Unless I pay $325,000 for him right now, which that's happening. Bam. It's done. He's now on my team.
You hit no first.
I did?
Yes. I saw that.
I was going to hit no. I was like, I don't know. Do I want? Well, I had to go and see how much money I had. See if I could actually afford it.
You can afford him.
Well,
I'm kind of jealous at how much money you have.
I didn't know I could afford him. I still have over $1 million. I better put some into wage budget because holy crap, I just bloated wage budget with that purchase. Okay, yeah, no, I'm kind of happy and amazed that I could afford a player of this caliber. This guy is like instantly my best player by some length. So now I need to figure out what to do with my striker situation. You still need a striker? I'll loan you one.
I do not need a striker.
Okay.
You remember what happened the last time you loaned me a striker?
He scored Scored a
I told
lot.
him to fuck off.
No. The last time I loaned you a striker, he scored a lot. It was one of the times before that. You told him to fuck off, and then he went to a different team and scored bundles of goals.
Oh, it was
Anyway.
Solomon you gave me. Right? Ryan Solomon?
Yeah, Ryan Solomon, right. Actually, the last 3 strikers on that save that I loaned you, you ended up buying all of them. They became regular players for you. But there was the one striker, that I tried to loan you. After 3 games, you cut him. I loaned him somewhere else, and he just kept bagging goals. Then every time he played against you, he scored on you. I always enjoyed that.
Yeah. Every fucking time.
Yeah, that made me. So, okay. Gotta concentrate here just for a minute. So I have to unload a striker. It's got to happen. I cannot keep them all.
I will. I'll keep looking at Out of the Park. Then tell me when you hit continue.
Sir. Amber.
You don't have to yes sir me.
Zatona. Gonna stay. Which means I brought you in on loan, so Parsamine has to be the other guy, which means Tabby has to be. Gotta load things first. Contract extension. Charlie Brown is the other guy I bought that I clearly didn't. I spent $1,200 a week on him. God, I was struggling to pay people this much, and now I'm paying that to guys who are on the bench. Okay. It's amazing what a couple seasons in the Champions League can do for you.
It's only been 1.
Qualified for 2. So
no, you've qualified for 1.
Oh, I qualified for the last one and played in it, and I just qualified for it again.
Yes, but you didn't get the money for that one yet.
No, I know. I said I've qualified for 2. That's all I'm saying.
Fine, I'll let you win on a technicality.
I always do. Transfer.
Oh, okay.
Loan. Start.
I won't be select, so I don't have that kind of money. This is who I want to get.
No, what am I doing? Silly. Unavailable.
Finally, you.
I need to think about this more objectively. I'm pressuring myself too much to as quickly, and I shouldn't. Ray Lambert.
114 stolen bases in a season. Holy crap.
Who?
Cool Papa Bell.
That is a redonkulous amount of stolen bases in a season. And how many times did he not steal a base? Like, how many times did he get caught?
20.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's an amazing ratio.
Yeah, this is perfect team, but holy hell. Although he had 588 at bats and 138 strikeouts, so that's a roughly 20% strikeout rate.
Yeah, I pressed forward.
Okay, I'll stop looking at baseball.
Yeah, okay. Try to. So here we go. Oh, Accrington won. I'll loan my striker I just put out for loan. Absolutely, you guys can have him. I get to help Accrington Stanley out. I'm so elated right now.
I don't.
Oh, these are all mod links. Appreciate that. Playing with mods and still being able to get achievements is awesome. Thanks for the follow, too. Yeah, no, I'll definitely check those out because, I love mods on that game, but I also really like achievements on games, so I hate having to choose between them. Top division score. Okay, this is funny because they're obviously not taking into account the new player I just bought.
Because he's not. Oh, because you actually bought him, that's right.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Gory is going to win the top scorer. But you never know. Just because he's good doesn't mean he's going to score a lot.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Hoban is going to win it again.
Oh,
not
those
again,
are screenshots from your city. Okay, well, I appreciate that. But if you could link me, if that mod to play mods and still get achievements is on Steam, if it's on the workshop, I'd love a link. Or, even just a key search for. Also would be cool.
We beat a French League 2 team in a friendly.
Good. It's really good.
Yeah. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. It was 3-0, actually.
I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's enjoyable. I won't either because I'll say it horrible.
But you see who it was?
But, oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, no worries, man. Anytime, that would be. It's also okay. If you happen to remember later on to shove that my way, I don't read it. How do I know the friend that I'm on a call with? Okay, so a bunch of years ago, I was on Facebook and I was chatting on a forum, the New Jersey Devils forum, because it's my favorite hockey team.
Is that really how we met?
It is. And I started talking to some asshat on there about some ridiculous thing because he was being a real jerk. I mean, a lot of Devils fans are, let's face it. And I got into like a really ridiculous argument with him. And then this other guy just kind of stuck up for me out of nowhere, agreed with me. And I was like, yeah, take that. And then I don't know, I do what most people do in that situation. I clicked on the profile of this person and I'm like, oh, he's a football fan. That's cool. Oh, he plays Football Manager because Football Manager is on his profile. I'm like, I'm going to send him a message and see if he wants to play Football Manager sometime. And I can't remember, I think how many years ago that was now. It's a lot.
It's at least 6 or 7, I would say.
6 or 7 years ago by now. And then we started playing Football Manager together, and now we're still sitting here playing Football Manager together. So that's the story. It all started on a Facebook forum for the New Jersey Devils. We're both Devils fans. Yeah. All your own highways, roads, intersections. 92% traffic flow with that high of a population? That's amazing. Seriously. That is incredible. But I mean, if you guys are awake at this time, you can be there regularly. But I also understand life happens while you're being. It's easy to.
Yeah, I have to work around my school schedule.
Super appreciate you doing.
No problem.
I schedule my life around this night, not the other way around. This is like my favorite night of the week. Is like it's Monday. Actually, I just call it Jacob Day because I get to play Football Manager with Jacob. So.
He's trying to get Friday to be Jacob Day as well.
No. Let's be real. If we can get the odd Friday in, I'm happy, but I don't ever expect it.
It's a bonus.
I mean, you have to build City Skylines with traffic as your number one. It's kind of the whole game. I would say that at least 50% of that game is just managing traffic. It's the main challenge once it gets large. So it's really cool that you've done well. Good night, Wayne. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Good night, Wayne.
News. We're going to play Satisfactory tomorrow. All right, Satisfactory tomorrow. So I know what I'm streaming tomorrow. You guys want to see an awesome factory. It's friendly? I think I should. Jumped on and made a car. Okay, well, at least we'll have a car. My squad is gigantic. I have a lot of players I need to get rid of. I got tons of guys that are listed, but sniffing at the gateway.
You always have that issue.
I know. It's that transitionary phase where I'm trying to bring in better and better players all the time.
No, it's always there. Don't lie to yourself.
Probably. Lie to myself. I should probably just admit that I always end up with gigantic squads of players. There, I said it out loud.
Thank you. Finally. I mean, die a happy man now.
I'm so sad because a lot of the players that are in my cut list are all Irish players, and I'm like, I was kind of stoked on trying to keep this team as Irish as possible, but let's be real, with no limitations on foreign players, I'm signing a boatload of better players is kind of where.
See, this is my thinking. Wait a couple of seasons until we get really good youth intakes. Sign everyone, and then the really, really crappy players we can loan out to the other Irish teams.
Try to help them out.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because by that point, our really, really crap teams could still be really good players for them.
Absolutely. Question. Selling Oden, you bunch of... A low approach for Harrison? Pay all of his wages? Oh, okay, you can... Starting to move some of my excess players on. I have at least a couple of players that would arguably compete for jobs on a freshly promoted championship team to the Premier League. I mean, they're not the kind of players you build a Premier League team crazy like that. They're guys who may keep the jobs if you went from championship to Premier. So I'm happy about that. We'll see how they perform.
Do you still have Out of the Park loaded up? Okay. The most expensive person in the auction house right now is 10 million points.
10 million? Nobody's paying that.
And the player's overall is 81.
What the hell is wrong?
I don't know.
Put that up is smoking or drinking something.
Yes, sir. Yes, he does. Always get the best out of our players.
Drinking their smoking their... Don't follow stars. Stars to the comparison of your own players on your own team. That has nothing to do with how good they are. Star ratings are not at all a comparison of players on other teams or in others. I'm declaring that these players would be that good solely based on their attributes. This guy right here, George Dobson, he's definitely championship, low Premier League quality in my mind. The star rating is based on performance and attributes. Attributes has but performance has a big say on star rating as well. This guy would borderline Premier. He's also only 23. Look at his potential. Oh, he can get better. Hey. I was just excited to sign him as is. I didn't actually notice that he could. I was freaking out excited so much that I didn't see that he was a younger guy that could get a lot better. So take that, Jacob. Best damn striker in the damn division.
Do you want me to give you a cookie?
Yes, with my name.
No.
Strawberry icing. Write my name with the strawberry icing.
Strawberry icing?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, fine.
And besides, it would take too much. It would cost more to ship it to you than to actually make the cookie.
These obstacles are not my problem. Offering cookies, you gotta make good cookies.
No.
CB has a 16 marking, 17 jumping, 15 and acceleration, but he has 3 stars because he has 7 head. Ball control is poor, but it's amazing as a center back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that that's why he has 3 stars. His mentals and hidden attributes may also be contributing to it. As long as he plays well. And his stars are relative to other players on your team. So, let's just say he has a... Which team are you? Premier League.
Me?
No, I'm talking to this. So let's say he has 140 current ability, and the other center backs and or players, even in general, on your team have around 150 current ability. He's going to have a lower star rating in contrast to them regardless. Yeah, his ratings are good. Like, I'm glad that he's a consistent player, but his star rating is relative to the comparisons of the other players on your team. It's mostly about. Yeah. It's up and down with current, as well as comparison to other players. Shouldn't.
Do you have a game coming up or no?
I have a friendly rate. Obviously, sim it.
Okay. I think this would be a good spot to call it a night since I need to get up for school tomorrow.
Okay.
After the game, we can sim the game first.
Simming this game. Play our first game, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, in about, a week and a half time?
Oh, we play each other to open the season?
And yes, we do.
So that we're playing that. Okay.
So I get my 3 points right off the bat.
I hope not. Trying to go for that undefeated season, but I got to play you right at the start. You know, and my first that loss I usually get is usually right near the start.
Wait a second. If you get your loss early, at least you don't have to be nervous for the rest of the season.
That's right. I did it last season.
Yeah, I was the last team undefeated.
That's true. Last one to not lose. Is there a way to get ambition up? So that's a hidden attribute.
Mentoring groups. No.
Yeah. Let's go with the basic answer. The most basic answer I can give you is mentoring. All hidden attributes are boosted through mentoring.
Look at that. Even I know some answers to.
You have him in a group with ambitious players, but it's not working. Okay, then it may be that they're not the right social group together. They haven't had the right amount of tenure together. You also have to look at estimated influence on group and the estimated effect. So the player who's being mentored has to have a significant or average effect, and the person who's mentoring him has to have enough influence on them. So if your player is, say, I'm just going to stick a guy on here to show you. It's light and light, yeah, that's bad. If he's only getting a light effect from the group, yeah, no, he's not going to get much effect from it at all. It may work a little bit, but not a lot. So his ambition is probably stuck where it's at. It can also naturally go up a little bit over time if he plays on a team with other ambitious players. Look at my DNA here, these 5 attributes right here, okay? One of the things I like to do, and you'll notice this when you get training reports, is because I have decent determination on a lot of my players, a lot of these guys, their determination just goes up because they're playing on a team with other determined players. So I often get training reports that their determination has gone up from playing on a team with other players that have lots of determination. Sometimes the mentoring helps, but sometimes it just goes up on its own. So, but he's at 23. He may get more ambitious as time goes on if he plays with a lot of other ambitious players. But I mean, obviously, you just want to sign a whole bunch of model citizens. See, I've got there. So you get model citizens on your team, and it's good. I have a system worked out. I believe it's in one of my first streams where I explained the training system and how to utilize the mentoring so that you can just get model citizens popping all the time. After 3 or 4 seasons on a team where I've got a few, I can just keep making model citizens pop, 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 pop. So I constantly have a team full of them. Mentoring is overpowered if you use it right.
Yeah, I can attest to that. It's happened on my team too.
Well, after I showed you how to do it, it happened for you too. It's just like pop, 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 model citizens left and right.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will let you go because I have to get up soon for school.
Oh, okay. I thought you said we're going to play our first game. That next time.
No, just send that next game. We'll start it. We'll play our first game next week.
All right. So potentially Friday we're going to play again. Sure
yes.
yet. So I might Come and check Friday for. Is there any other Football Manager players currently? There is. So I'm going to shoo everybody. Sanchez. He's also playing Football Manager. Have fun, show love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for talking about all the other games and for all of the links and everything. And have a good night. Honestly.
Yep. Have a good night, everyone.
Keep canceling it.